The fact that you feel bad on the third day of your diet is not about lack of willpower. Because at that moment, your body is trying to keep you alive. And most people break their diet exactly at this point, because they do not understand what is happening inside their body. When you start a diet, you are not just eating less. All systems inside your body begin to change. Your cells' energy usage changes, your brain switches to a different fuel system, and even your gut bacteria start to shift. So the issue is not only about losing weight. Your body is trying to adapt to a completely new system. And if you make the wrong moves during this process, you may not get the results you expect. In fact, this is one of the main reasons people quit diets, because they don't understand what they are experiencing. Now, I will explain to you day by day what happens in your body from day 1 to day 30 of dieting, and what you should do during this process. Between days 1 to 3, your glycogen stores begin to deplete. Glycogen is basically your body's sugar storage. It is stored in both the liver and muscles. When these stores are depleted, you lose not only sugar, but also a significant amount of water. Because every 1 gram of glycogen holds approximately 3 grams of water. So most of the weight you lose in the first days of dieting is not fat, but water. However, there is an important detail here. You are not only losing water. Along with that water, you also lose minerals such as sodium, potassium, and magnesium. That is why you may experience fatigue, low blood pressure, muscle cramps, tremors, and mental fog. Many people think dieting is harming them at this point, but in reality, the body is trying to adapt to a new system. What you need to do in this period is not just drink water. You also need to take minerals with water. So completely cutting salt is a big mistake. You can drink mineral water, you can drink Churchill. If you want, you can also add a small amount of salt into your water. If possible, coconut water is also a good option. Especially in the first week, completely cutting salt is not correct. Between days 3 and 7, sometimes extending up to 10 days, the body enters alarm mode. The brain notices that fewer calories are coming in and increases hunger signals. This is exactly the period when most people break their diet. The reason you constantly feel hungry is not lack of willpower, but hormonal changes. Your brain is trying to keep you alive, not make you lose weight. At this point, you are probably thinking, I am so hungry. I constantly want to eat something. Or, this diet is not for me. But this is completely normal. At the same time, because not enough glucose is reaching your brain, you may experience mental fog. Feelings like, my brain is not working, I feel very tired, or my mood is low are very common during this period. There is nothing to be afraid of. Your body is trying to adapt. One of the most important things during this process is getting enough protein, because protein helps you feel full and reduces muscle loss. During the first 7 to 10 days, consuming around 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight is very beneficial. In addition, increasing fiber intake is also very important, because fiber supports the gut and increases satiety. Between days 10 and 14, constipation may occur in many people, because you are eating less food and the volume entering the intestines decreases. On top of that, fluid and mineral loss can slow down the digestive system. And many people at this point step on the scale and think, why am I not losing weight? But the issue is usually not a stop in fat loss, but slower bowel movements. What you need to do in this period is increase fiber intake. Green leafy vegetables are especially important. Drinking warm water throughout the day also significantly supports bowel movements. In addition, light walking helps digestion. If constipation becomes severe, controlled fruit consumption may also help relieve the intestines. Between days 14 and 21, things start to change, because this is where actual fat burning begins. Weight loss on the scale may not be as fast as in the early days, but visually you will notice more slimming, because fat takes up a lot of space and volume. During this period, hunger also starts to decrease. Hunger and satiety hormones in the brain become more balanced. At the same time, since the dopamine system starts to recover, cravings for sweets and junk food also decrease. So the reason you constantly wanted unhealthy food was not your personality. It was your brain and hormones changing. In this period, you can slightly increase your activity level. Adding light cardio is beneficial. And increasing protein intake again is important because the body becomes more active and muscle loss should be prevented. After 21 days, your metabolism begins to adapt to the new system. Glycogen stores in muscles and the liver partially start to refill. This means you enter a better phase for activities like weight training, Pilates, or yoga. Exercise becomes very important at this stage because the goal is not only to lose weight, but to lose fat while preserving muscle mass. Sufficient protein intake and resistance training should continue together. Another important point is that as fat burning continues, some substances stored in fat tissue may be released. Especially in people who have been overweight for a long time, this may cause headaches, fatigue, skin issues, or unusual tiredness. That is why staying active, sweating, drinking enough water, and definitely avoiding constipation is very important. Because if the intestines do not work properly, substances that should be eliminated may be reabsorbed. After 30 days, the body begins to adapt to a low-calorie state. Therefore, the rate of weight loss may slow down over time. In such cases, sometimes increasing exercise or slightly adjusting calories in a controlled way is necessary. And most importantly, patience is required. Because the secret of a successful diet is not a few days of motivation, but building a sustainable system.